Shmai. Hello. I'm Bernadette Vallely. I'm a writer. I live in Pembrokeshire, on the very edge of the coast of Wales. And today I'm here to talk to you about why you should never give up. The first thing to remember is if you feel like you're going to give up and you want to give up, is that nature is not just an ally. Nature can heal you. Nature can make you strong, can make you feel more confident, more calm, more at peace with who you are. And so the first thing to do as an emergency first aid, if you feel like giving up, is to stop what you're doing and go and be in nature. And I remember a long time ago when I was ill and I had to stay on the 4th floor, very high block, and there were no trees, there was no nature to look out of the window while I was recuperating. All there was the sky. But I did it, and the sky became my friend. Just like when you were a child and you watched the rain on the window. Nature comes in many ways, and even if it feels you're obstructed, still you can find nature. You can even these days put ocean sounds or fires crackling on videos, streaming them online. So you can find places in nature around you that will heal you. And that healing, that sense of peace that it brings, will nurture you and give you the courage and the strength and the hope to continue. So if you feel like giving up, number one, find nature and discover the awe that every human being has with their favourite places, with the places that astonish them, with the beauty and splendour being so massive that nature just fills you up with something bigger than yourself. And that goes for every other human. There's no need for labels when nature is around us. We are all human in front of the vastness of what it is and its truth. I think the sound and the movement of the ocean is something that reminds us that each drop is separate and yet all the same body of water. And somehow it's very lulling and calming to listen to the ocean. And the ocean can help you heal even if you're not there, just by watching and listening to its sound. These are all beautiful parts of nature that can help us to really have love bigger than ourselves as humanity. The second important thing to say is that everything changes. There's no doubt. Everything changes all the time. We must accept change. We must move on. We must ride the wave of success through change. We have to adapt as human beings in every circumstances. Coronavirus has proved that. People had to change their business, adapt their models, and overnight had to do things. I remember running a small local charity where the political party in charge changed overnight, and suddenly we were not flavour of the month anymore, and I had to adapt the programmes, I had to let some staff go, the budget was all very difficult, and yet we survived and actually went on to become a successful and award-winning charity. So adapt, and the successes remind you of actually, in the longer term, how powerful your voice is and what you do and say, how much it matters. I'm thinking of the success of acid rain and the legislation to stop the sulphur, the success of the ozone layer problem, and the way that scientists and ordinary people like us all came together and made it happen. I'm thinking of the success of whales, for example, the whaling commission, and how it reduced and reduced and reduced the amount of whales that were getting killed and slaughtered in the oceans, to the point now where we have about 25,000 whales, which is brilliant news because they're in survival and thriving rather than becoming extinct. The third thing that we need to discuss that's important is the truth, because the truth will make you very much more empowered and confident. And the truth is often the scientific information, or a photograph or a map, or, you know, the reality is the truth when you're looking at the environment. I myself have been involved in campaigns over the years with major multinational companies. And at the end of the day, the truth, the biological, scientific papers, the data that comes out of readings, that's what was empowering. And that kept me going and making sure that I just persisted and persisted until the tables were turned. And that has happened a lot, believe me, to the environment movement and the social action movements in general. So just when it looks like it's really bad, actually, you could be very close to the solution. The truth brings you mental stability. The truth brings you confidence. Live within the truth, be in your truth, use the truth as your powerful ally in whatever you're doing, and you'll find yourself much more likely to be successful and to be stable and emotionally stable while you're doing it. The fourth thing we're going to discuss is yourself. If you feel like giving up, isn't it time that you reminded yourself to love yourself, to nurture yourself, to have a holiday, to relax, to take up a hobby, to walk in nature and just let everything drop away? You can't keep up 100% of your energy in action all the time. If you're emotionally draining yourself, it's not good for you. And so, yes, I'd say love yourself and create ways to love yourself so that you can basically connect with yourself and respect yourself. And that's a really important way that you must carry on. Now, the next one is love your neighbour. And that works on so many levels. During the coronavirus pandemic, we've all realised how important our neighbours are and how critical it is that we connect with our local neighbourhood, and also making our local neighbourhood resilient and strong, which is buying local, supporting local craftspeople or local vegetable growers and farmers, respecting and protecting local people who are vulnerable, and doing your bit within your community to add to and strengthen who you are as a group. That's good for you as a community, and it means that you're more resilient against outside forces, whether they be economic, international, viruses, whatever happens. If your local community knows who they are and is transitioning into an ecological future, then you know the tradespeople, the craftspeople, and you're all working together. Community is a big plus, and it's hard to remember how powerful you are, but you are. I remember living in a borough of North London, where just myself and another woman, a friend, Christine, realised that the local playground, which supported thousands of children, was absolutely inadequate and probably illegal. We went to see the official in charge, and at first he pooh-poohed us. We went back to the playground and we collected a questionnaire. We collected questionnaires from 600 people, parents who also didn't like the playground equipment and knew it was dangerous. We went back to the council with a 600 people questionnaire with a plan and a map and what we'd like to see. I can tell you they were aghast. Like, this is not what we'd gone so far when he asked us that they couldn't refuse us, and in fact ended up spending £100,000 making a superb playground, which tens of thousands of children have used over the years ever since. Really proud of that, because that started with just 2 women thinking, this isn't good enough, we must do better. So love your local neighbourhood, get to know your local neighbourhood, and don't be afraid to get involved or do something you don't know how easily it could become a success. The next thing, which is number 6, is to love your planet. And that's important, obviously, because you need to respect where you live and you need to know the biodiversity, the important things that are around where you live. Where's your local river? Is it clean? Your local woodlands, your parks. Do you have wetlands? Do you have sand dunes or oceans at the side? Where do you live and what's your local environment? Do you love it? Where is it that you love in your life? Attracting yourself to that what you love, that part of the land or a woodland, that feeds your energy and helps you survive and continue, because it is worth fighting for these places, locally and even internationally. And one really powerful way of doing that is to love your soil and upgrade your soil and feed your soil and make it really good in your garden, your pot plants, anywhere you are. Compost, 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 and upgrade your soil. Then you're really loving the earth specifically around where you live. The last thing I want to say is about action, because when you feel like giving up, you become tired and lethargic, but actually that's the time to take an action, even if it's just for 1 minute. Change your search engine to Ecosia. Takes a minute, and there you are. Every time you go online, you're helping to plant trees. Fantastic. You've taken action. Do something bigger. It takes 20 minutes to change your energy provider to one that supplies renewable energy. I did it 25 years ago. I haven't had to worry about that since. But it was a brilliant action, and I don't regret it for a moment. Join a group, volunteer, connect with somebody that feels the same as you. There are people out there. So if you feel concerned or worried or upset, sad, even angry, all of these feelings are really relevant, appropriate, but they're not places to decide to give up. They're places and feelings and emotions that should help you to become active and to do something. And if you are ill and really can't do something, then go and find nature to restore you and nurture you back to full health, so that you can be part of the future of being a steward of the earth. If you feel like giving up, you find nature, you accept change, you love yourself, you embrace the truth, you work with the truth as an ally, work for your community, your planet, embrace and improve your soil. And look, you don't have to do what I've done or what anyone else has done, but you do have to do something. And there's plenty that you can do. So good luck to you on that journey. I ask you not to give up and at least try these 7 things that I suggest here would be helpful to you. They've been helpful to me. I've been a writer and campaigner for 35 years and had many successes along the way. And you too can have that success in your life, in your family, in your environment, your community. So good luck, and never give up.